It's the time for the package from China. Let's go! Welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. You know, we live in an absolutely great time when it comes to playing retro games. There are just companies making brand new controllers for your old school retro systems. And it is quite convenient. For example, the Retrobit. There are a couple of companies out there making quite nice controllers. But I was really curious what I'm going to get with this 8-button arcade pad, they love to call it. It does have like the Genesis, a 16-bit video entertainment system, like this cool, very nice like box. It gives more like a nostalgia vibe for me. I did review a couple of these products back in the day, but I was really curious what I were going to get with more like this premium version. And why premium? Because it comes in a very nice box. It's one of those like say cool presentations, or you just want to bring the controller with you. This is stuff that I really like. Ooh. You know what time it is. So the presentation has been done perfectly when it comes to this controller. A very nice box that you can store your controller, but just bring it also with you. It comes including 2 dongles, one for USB, you can use it in your computer. I just want to get it out of it, but it doesn't always work when trying to record it. And then the other one that we're going to get is using for your original Sega system or clone device that has the original port in it. But also one of the reasons I picked it up, because I am familiar with Retrobit. I already own a couple of controllers. One of them you can see over here. That is the translucent blue version. And I can tell you I was just very satisfied with it when it now comes with the original quality. I do have an original 6-pad, but yeah, let's be honest, these things are quite, when I say like super difficult to find, but if you're going to find one in very good condition after all of these years that doesn't have like too much wear of there, they are just like very expensive, or at least the ones I need to find here. It comes with a very long cable, the original controller, I really loved it. Of course, the 6-button controller. Another thing is like I like to play in this one too, but it's more clunky than the 6-button pad, so we're not going to really do a comparison with that, but I just wanted to show you. Then we're having, of course, like the more like say better clones. The clones are like smelling very chemical, but this is not like the cheap simply because they have like a way better feel to it. I did a full video when I basically was tested it with this original system that came with it, and the D-pad felt quite nice and was very responsive. And for me it was very important simply because I want to use them for the fighting games like Street Fighter or Turtles. Okay, this one is wireless, and just the presentation already mentioned, it is very nicely done. In here we're going to get ourselves like a LiPo battery, isn't 500 milliamp, and yeah, it will give you quite a long time for playing. So if it's wireless, I don't really mind it, but I think it's pretty damn cool that it comes even with a built-in battery, so we don't need to mess with that. The unfortunate thing is, like, you need to open it up very quickly if you have like a broken battery, but you can already see over here there is a plug, so you can just plug it out, plug it back in. So it's not going to be a big of a deal. So when you're looking at the controller, there are some upgrades where they implemented with this, because this is not like a one-on-one copy or a clone or whatsoever of the original. So one of the things I really like about it is that we have like the same kind of mold, or at least it feels authentic to the original controller. And I really liked it that they did this. That is the thing what I also like with my translucent blue version. But this wireless controller is slightly different. To begin with, like when you're looking at the front, we have like some extra buttons. We do have over here a home and a select now. So with the original one, we don't have this. And another one is of course that we're having like a different configuration with the top. Here we're having the Mo button. Yeah, and the controller of Retrobit has like shoulder buttons. Because if you're going to plug this thing in your controller, you want to play some games, you have the option to just use this thing like an actually like game console controller for different games besides playing 16-bit games on an emulator. But how about the D-pad itself? I can tell you the Retrobit feels slightly different, more like a loose feeling to it. Where we're having like the older one feels a little bit more sturdy, and where we're having more, like say, freedom when it comes to the D-pad. When you're feeling it like going all the way around, it plays in my opinion even better, because I love it. Just the way how they basically improve it in my opinion. So this is the thing when it comes to the D-pad itself. It's even better than the original one. The touch of the buttons. Also here we have like a different touch where we have like more resistance when it comes to the Retrobit. We have less here on the Sega. To be honest, I really prefer to have the original Sega when it comes to this. It's a minor difference, but there is a difference. It is wireless, so we need to charge it. So the thing that we're going to get is over here. Here we have again an LED for indication. I think it's for connectivity, but also over here we're going to find a micro USB for basically like charging it. But if we're going to remove the part of the basically the packaging, here we can find ourselves like the micro USB cable. Very long one, by the way. Gives an extra fresh advertisement like Retrobit, share a bit of your retro side. I really like it. So let's see what we're going to find over here. Thank you for your purchase. It's pretty damn cool to giving you this. And then over here we're having, of course, the manual explaining how everything works, how you need to handle it, and how you basically need to convert or connect and everything like that. That's very nice. So if you have any problems, check the manual. Configuration with the dongle itself is going to be super easy. The only thing you need to do is pressing the button, holding it for a couple seconds, let it basically start blinking very fast, and then you can connect your controller fairly easy. If you want to configure it with the USB dongle of the controller, check the manual. It also explains what kind of button configuration or what you need to do if you have any problems. Alright, so let's try a little bit of Street Fighter. And yeah, I already mentioned that the controls will feel a little bit slightly different than the original one. But I can tell you that I am not disappointed whatsoever. Every move comes out instantly without any problem. Especially when it comes to the Shoryuken. It's one of those more difficult moves to get out if you're going to basically like checking it out with the same bad D-pad or a very bad clone controller. And overall, I must say that I find it a very pleasant controller to play, and the wireless connectivity, I don't notice any input lag whatsoever. I am pleasantly surprised by this Retrobit controller, simply because of the quality and just the way how it actually plays when it comes to the button input and the D-pad. It's slightly placed a little bit differently compared with the original Sega controller, but not in a bad way. Thanks for watching, consider subscribing, hit the little bell, and it would be great to see you in the next video.